All right, y'all, buckle up because we need to talk about this absolute mess that's unfolding right now between Offset, Cardi B, and Steffon Diggs. And trust me, it's way more complicated than you think. So Offset just dropped his new album, Hunted by Fame, and honestly, this man is not over Cardi B. Like, not even a little bit. And I know what you're thinking. Didn't he say he moved on? Yeah, he did. He's been out here doing interviews talking about how he wants peace, how he's in a better place mentally, how he's focused on his music and his kids, all that positive energy stuff.
It's about moving on, like, peacefully. That's what the message is supposed to be, moving on peacefully. It's all love, peace, like, it's love. I just ended that up with the album, just to end that chapter of that shit, because it's like, just move on, like it's over and done with. It was great while it lasted, you know what I mean? That shouldn't be the topic for neither one of us no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
right. But then you actually listen to the album, and it's a completely different story. There's this track called No Sweat, where Offset is literally taking direct shots at both Cardi B and her new man, Steffon Diggs. And I'm not talking about subtle hints either. This man is going in. So which is it, bro? Are you moved on, or are you still sitting up at night thinking about your ex? Because the energy ain't matching the words. Now let me break down what he actually said in these lyrics, because it's honestly wild. Offset compares himself to Michael Jordan, you know, the greatest basketball player of all time, the GOAT, the legend. And then he turns around and compares Steffon Diggs to Dennis Rodman. Now, if you're not a basketball fan, let me explain what that means. Dennis Rodman was a great player, don't get me wrong, but he was known more for his wild behavior and antics than for being the star of the team. So basically, Offset is saying, you left the best for someone who's just there. That's a massive diss, y'all. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no, it gets way more personal. Offset literally questions how Cardi could leave him for Steffon. He calls her foolish for thinking he's hurt by it. Then he drops this line about how she's not happy in her new relationship, how he knows how it worked, which sounds like he's implying he knows she's faking it. And then this is where it gets really messy. He brings up the fact that she's pregnant while they're still legally married to each other. Let me repeat that. Still legally married. He raps, how are you married and still giving birth? Get some help, B. You're going berserk. Like, sir, the disrespect, the audacity, the drama. Now here's where I need y'all to really think about this for a second. This is a man who's been telling the world he's moved on, he's at peace, he's focused on himself. But does this sound like someone who's moved on? Does this sound like someone who's emotionally healed and ready to let the past be the past? Absolutely not. And to be completely honest with you, I actually understand why he's feeling this way. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying he should be putting it in his music, but I get it. Imagine having to watch your estranged wife, someone you were with for years, someone you have multiple children with, pregnant by another man while you're still married. Like, the divorce isn't even finalized yet. That's gotta be painful, right? That's gotta mess with your head. But here's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. And this is where karma really comes into the picture. Offset is literally experiencing what he put Cardi through. Because let's not rewrite history here. This man cheated on Cardi B multiple times. And it wasn't just regular cheating either. He had another woman pregnant during their marriage. He put Cardi in the exact same position he's in now, feeling disrespected, feeling replaced, watching someone else carry your partner's child. So while I understand his pain, I also can't ignore the fact that he created this situation himself. Cardi even said it publicly. It wasn't just the cheating that ended their marriage. It was deeper than that. It was the betrayal, the lying, the constant disrespect, the pattern of behavior that showed he didn't value what they had, and now he's carrying all this guilt. That's why he can't stop reacting to everything she does. That's why every time she posts something, every time there's a rumor, every time she makes a move, he's got something to say about it. He knows he destroyed his own marriage, and he can't deal with that reality. He literally admitted in a past interview that he was the reason things fell apart. So now he's stuck watching her try to move forward, and he's spiraling because he knows he caused it.
I will FaceTime Offset just out of the blue and be like, excuse my language, everybody. Yo, you f***ing up, bro. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And you've acknowledged that to me.
Yeah. Know what I mean? Just being real shit. I fucked up. You know, we had them talks, man. You called me. Out of all people, you called me. And but it take that though. Like it take for people that you love or you respect what they say, or that somebody that actually check in for real. But there ain't a lot of people that do that too though. But I feel like same thing. Like I gotta acknowledge that and then get back on the journey.
Their separation has only been a little over a year, y'all. That's not a lot of time to process a whole marriage ending, especially when there are kids involved and emotions are still raw. But wait, because there's another layer to this story that makes it even more complicated. Remember when Offset said, "You ain't happy" in his lyrics? Well, that might not just be him talking out of anger. There are actually rumors floating around that Cardi B and Steffon Diggs might have already broken up. Or at the very least, their relationship is extremely unstable and rocky. And honestly, when you hear the details, it starts to make sense us why. So apparently, and this is where things get absolutely insane, Steffon Diggs allegedly has 3 new babies on the way right now. As we speak, 3 different women are supposedly pregnant by him at the same time. And that's in addition to the 3 children he already had recently.
Barbara, this is Shirley. Yeah, busy. Yeah, that's your baby daddy, bitch. That's my baby daddy too, girl. Well, what now? I'll fucking...
Plus 2 more from years back. Let me do the math for you real quick. That's potentially 8 children with different women, with 3 of them being born around the same time. 8. How is that even possible? How do you have that many responsibilities and still have time to be in a relationship? And Cardi B is supposedly one of the women who's currently pregnant by him in this whole chaotic situation. Now, y'all, I need you to really sit with that for a moment. How stable can this relationship actually be? How genuine can the love be when your man has multiple other women carrying his children at the exact same time as you? How do you wake up every day and convince yourself that you're happy in that situation? Now, to be fair, Cardi has publicly said she's standing by Steffon Diggs. She's come out and stated that yes, she's aware of the other pregnancies, but she's not leaving him. She's loyal, she's committed, she's in it for the long haul. She's basically telling the world that she's choosing to stay despite everything. But here's my question, and I really want y'all to think about this. Is that real love, or is that just someone who's afraid to be alone? Is that genuine happiness, or is that someone trying to prove a point? Because from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like a healthy, happy relationship. It looks messy. It looks complicated. It looks like she's settling for a situation that she would have never accepted if she was in a better mental and emotional space. And that brings me to what I think is really happening here underneath all the drama and the headlines. Cardi B is still emotionally affected by her divorce from Offset. She's still processing the end of her marriage, the betrayal, the hurt, all of it. And when you're in that headspace, when you're coming out of something painful and traumatic, you don't always make the best decisions. You make choices from a place of pain instead of clarity. You're trying to fill a void, trying to prove something, trying to convince yourself that you're fine when you're really not. She's in that rebound phase, y'all. She's jumping from one relationship straight into another without taking the time to heal, to process, to figure out what she actually wants and needs. And the dangerous part about that is you often end up repeating the same patterns with a different person. And the irony, Steffon Diggs might literally be another version of Offset. Or honestly, based on these pregnancy rumors, he might actually be worse. What's really sad about all of this is that Cardi probably should have taken time to just be alone, time to focus on herself, her mental health, her children, her career, time to heal from everything she went through with Offset before jumping into something new. Because breakups, especially messy, public, painful ones, they mess with your judgment. They cloud your thinking. They make you vulnerable to making decisions that you're going to regret later. And now she's pregnant again, which means she's tied to another complicated situation for at least the next 18 years. She's going to be co-parenting with another man who has multiple baby mamas, multiple drama situations, multiple complications. She's repeating the exact same cycle she went through with Offset, just with a different face attached to it. So where does all of this leave us? Well, Offset is clearly still in love with Cardi B, or at least he's not emotionally over her yet. No matter what he says in interviews or on social media, his music tells the real story. The man is still hurt, still angry, still reacting to every little thing she does. He's emotionally invested in a relationship that's already over, and honestly, I don't know if he'll ever fully let go. Some people just can't release what they lost, especially when they know deep down that they're the reason it's gone. And Cardi, she's out here trying to convince the world, and probably herself, that she's happy with Steffon Diggs, that she's in love, that she's moved on, that everything is perfect. But is it really? Or is she just running from one messy, painful situation straight into another one that might end up being even worse? This whole situation is a complete disaster, and I honestly don't see it getting better anytime soon. There's too much hurt, too much baggage, too many unresolved emotions floating around. Everybody's making moves out of pain instead of wisdom, and that never ends well.
That's a slap in the face.
So Offset dropped the album Haunted by Fame, and on the track No Sweat, he basically throws shots at Cardi B and Steffon Diggs, saying like, how you married and still giving birth. And I really wish that Offset wouldn't use Cardi in his music no more to try to like sell records, because I'll be honest with you, the only reason I even listened to the song was because people was saying like, oh, he's talking about Cardi, he's talking about Cardi. Bro, when your music is no longer getting plays because of you and you have to use someone else to sell your music, there's something wrong there. Yo, and I wish he wouldn't use Cardi B, man, to promote his music. I wish he wouldn't use his wife or ex-wife or baby mother, whatever's going on, because I don't even know the situation there. But I wish he wouldn't use Cardi to promote his music, because now the only reason why people are tuning in is because of her. And what's even worse is the fact that you're saying, oh, and you're still married and having an affair. But what about having an affair while you're married? Come on now. 2 wrongs do not make a right. And this has been the problem all along. You might feel that Cardi is wrong in what she's doing and how she's handling it, but you're the problem. You're the one who started it. You have to accept the fact that you did something that caused the chain effect as to why everything is now happening. But prayers for Offset, man. Prayers for Cardi, man, because I hate to see them go through this. And honestly, I just really want Offset to leave that woman.
Man.
She left a cheating husband for a cheating boyfriend. Damn, Cardi, you didn't eat that. She didn't eat that. No, you didn't eat that. Did she think she ate that? I think she tried to eat that. She tried to eat that with Steffon Diggs. She tried to eat that, but ooh, did it backfire? Ooh. She left a cheating husband for a cheating boyfriend. Ooh, that's tough. Ooh.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Dude moving like he the one that got cheated on. Bro, eventually you gonna have to let go, man. It happens to the best of us. We all take L's. We all done lost a woman before that we regret losing. The crazy thing about it, this probably the only thing they're gonna talk about on this new album.
Alone and just move on, man.
Cardi B versus Offset. I think Cardi B made the biggest financial mistake she could have ever done. I think it's gonna cost her in divorce court. Look, Cardi B, I love me some Cardi B. But damn it, why would you get pregnant when you still pregnant? You got pregnant. That man is going to say you committed adultery before that divorce was settled, and now he's gonna try to take all your money. I ain't gonna say he's gonna take all of it, but I just feel like he's gonna try to reach for that. Let me tell you why. Because Offset is an opportunist, right? You put a red flag by opportunist. He's the biggest opportunist there is. You can see how he's doing the whole thing with Gunna. Like now you wanna hang with Gunna. Why you wanna hang with Gunna now? Oh, because it's the thing to do, right? He has no loyalty. He wasn't loyal to Cardi. He wasn't even loyal to his own group that they call family, that they grew up together. He's not loyal. He's not a loyal guy, right? He's an opportunist, right? I think she made the biggest financial mistake because she married this opportunist who was not loyal. And I'm not even talking about cheating. I'm talking about just overall loyalty, even the way after they broke up, how you treat the girl. If you say you love somebody, not connected at the soul, you don't talk about nobody like that. You don't do all these little weird, corny things that you doing with all these girls. You don't do nothing like that. Then you're gonna try to take her money. You don't do nothing like that. And yeah, y'all gonna sit up here and say, well, women do it. Women do it. Yeah, they do it. They do it. But I expected more from Offset. I don't think he ever wanted Cardi. I think he used it as an opportunity because he's an opportunist. I hope this pregnancy by Steffon does not cost her a lot of money, but I think it is.
So let me know down in the comments, do you think Offset will ever truly move on from Cardi B?